great place to start is by learning open chords. By learning just a few open chords, you can already start to play songs. So let's start with 3 basic open chords, D, G, and A. Okay, let's start off with the D major chord. We're going to be on 4 strings. The first string is the high E string here. Then we have B, that's the second string. G is the third string, and D is the fourth string. We'll take our index finger to the second fret of that third string, the G string. Next, we'll take our ring finger to the third fret of the B string. Now, if you want, you could stop here and you could just play these 3 strings, D, G, and B. And this is a chord. If we keep going, we're going to put our middle finger on the second fret of the high E string, that first string there. That's going to complete our D major chord. I also want to point out a different way that you can play this would be to remove your middle finger and just bar with your index, which means laying it down flat, and you're going to take that first and third string, second fret. You can play it like this. You could also put your middle finger down there as well on the third fret. Okay, next we have G major. For this one, we're going to be on all 6 strings. So we also have the A string here. That's the 5th string, and then the low E string. That's the 6th string. We're going to take our middle finger to the 3rd fret, so 1, 2, 3, on that low E string. We'll start there. And then index finger to the 2nd fret right next to it on that A string. And then we'll take our ring finger and put it on the 3rd fret of the high E string. Here you can strum all 6 strings. Now, if this is too hard, take away the middle and index, leave your ring finger down, and just play 4 strings down from the D string or that 4th string. It's a nice, easy G shape. Hey, now if you're enjoying guitar tricks, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss a new video. And hit that like button, it really helps us out. Now back to the lesson. Okay, and last we have an A major chord here. Now for this one, there's a few ways we can play it. Here's a common way. We'll take our index finger to the 2nd fret of that D string, that 4th string, middle finger to the 2nd fret right next to it on 2nd fret of the G string there, 3rd string, and then ring finger going right next to that on the 2nd fret of the B string, the 2nd string. Now for this one, we're going to aim to play strings A all the way down, A, D, G, B, and high E. Now sometimes, occasionally players will like to switch the fingers around. So instead of index, middle, ring squeezed together, you can do middle, ring, pinky. Might be a little easier for you. Another alternate way to play that A major chord is just to lay your index finger flat on the 2nd fret, grabbing all those D, G, and B strings, just like that, also getting open A. These 3 chords actually make up the common major chords used in the key of D. Now, sometimes you'll hear these chords referred to as the 1, 4, and 5 major chords in the key of D. Now, without getting too into the weeds, this is a fundamental chord progression in many genres of music, from classical to rock. So it's definitely worth learning how to properly transition to and from each of these chords. Okay, so let's practice that. We're just going to take 2 chords at a time. Let's start with D to G. Now, when you're practicing this at first, you want to go really slow and map out where each finger is going. So for example, starting with our D chord, our index finger is going from 2nd fret of G, and it's going to the 2nd fret of the A string. So that's the movement that it's making. Okay, so there's one finger. Let's see what our other fingers are doing. Our middle finger is going from 2nd fret of high E all the way to 3rd fret of low E. So that's quite the distance. So that's a nice thing to know when we're practicing this. Okay, and then our ring finger is going from 3rd fret of B, and then it's just going right next door to the 3rd fret of the high E. So it's just 1 string apart, so that's not too bad. Now from here, you want to start making the change really slowly, mapping out where each finger is going, make the chord, press down, and try and get every string to ring out clearly. And then go back. If you're struggling, just go 1 finger at a time and keep building from there. Okay, we do the same process for D to A. Maybe we slide our ring finger down, move our other 2 fingers over and play it this way. Make sure you have a nice arch in your fingers. If they're inverted like this, we're not going to get that high E string to ring out. So you want a nice arch just playing with your fingertips. If that's not working out, try the bar. You could even go from this to this D shape. Okay, and our last one here would be G to A. So we're here, and then maybe we go to this shape here, nice and slowly, and back. With just these 3 chords, you'll be able to play hundreds of songs. The most difficult part will be switching between chords in time, after you've worked out the chord transitions out of time. The next step is to practice them in time. All right, I've got a metronome here, and we're going to practice this right now. All right, I've got my metronome set up to 60 BPM, and we're going to practice those same chord switches 4 beats at a time, just like this. We're starting D to G. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. D, 2, 3. Start to make the switch to G. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. G. 2, 3, 4. Okay, maybe this is even too fast for you. What you could do is play 2 bars each. Let's try D to A just like that. 1, 2, 3, 4. D, 2, 3, 4. Start your switch to A. 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Back to D. Okay, once it starts to get easier, go right to G to A and speed it up a little bit, maybe back to 1 bar each. 3, 4. 2, 3, 4, A. 2, 3, 4, G. 2, 3, 4, A. 2, 3, 4. Now you're already on your way to playing songs with similar chords, and it's only been a few minutes. Let's add a few more open major chords to the mix. Next, we have a C shape. Looks like this. You're going to want to take your ring finger to the 3rd fret of that A string, the 5th string. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. Middle finger will go right next to it on the 2nd fret of the D string. We have open G, it's the 3rd string, and then take your index finger to the 1st fret of the B string, the 2nd string. We also have the open high E. This is a C major chord. If this is too difficult, take away your ring finger, just play 2 fingers, or take away your middle finger, just play 1 finger on 3 strings, G, B, and high E. Okay, next we have an E major chord, looks like this. This one we're on all 6 strings, strumming. We have low open E. We'll take our middle finger to the 2nd fret of the A string. Ring finger to 2nd fret of D. Index to 1st fret of G. And we have open B and open high E. You can strum all 6 strings here. Now, if the full shape is too difficult for now, you can also fret it like this. Take your middle finger to 2nd fret of the D string, index to 1st fret of the G string, and just strum down from the D string. Okay, go ahead and follow along with me on our metronome set to 60 BPM, and we're going to practice C to E major. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, C. 2, 3, 4, E. 2, 3, 4, back to C. 2, 3, 4, E. 2, 3, 4. Okay, if that was too tough, remember we can do 2 bars each. Let's try that. 1, 2, 3, 4. C, 2, 3, 4. Switch to E. Here we go. 4, 2, 3, 4. Back to C. 2, 3, 4. You got it? 2, 3, 4. Back to E one more time. 3, 4. Okay, we can go even further and switch between all the chords that we just learned. Let's try it out. We're gonna go from C to E to G to D and to A. We'll do 1 bar each. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. C, 2, 3, 4, E. 2, 3, 4, G. 2, 3, 4, D. 2, 3, 4, A. 2, 3, 4. Okay, after you feel comfortable, the next step is to increase the BPM. So we're going to take it up a notch, do that same thing. Now it's 65 BPM. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. C, 2, 3, 4. E, 2, 3, 4. G, 2, 3, 4. D, 2, 3, 4. A, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's go ahead and take it up even more. We're going to try 70 BPM now. 1, 2, 3, 4. C, 2, 3, 4. E, 2, 3, 4. G, 2, 3, 4. D, 2, 3, 4. A. All right, the goal is to be able to play a progression or set of chords you're working on cleanly and with crisp transitions before bumping up the tempo. Then see how fast you can go before it gets unmanageable. Then take it back and just keep practicing it at a slightly slower tempo. All right, there you have it. You are now playing guitar. Next step, pick up the guitar tomorrow and do this again. Save this video for easy reference. It's key to pick up the guitar a little bit every day, as much as you can, and as long as you're having fun. Now, I know schedules can be tight, but if you only set aside time here or there, progress will be slow. It's as easy as this. Once per day, pick up your guitar, play along with this video, and within a week, you'll feel much more comfortable. From here, check out the beginner guitar lesson playlist on our channel. Also, be sure to grab your free Ultimate Beginner Guide at the link in the description or on the next screen. Like and subscribe so you don't miss the next video. And please let me know in the comments what you'd like to see next. You can totally learn how to play. Stay tuned for more tips.